Hey everyone, this is Brian again. Gonna move right into Atlas today. Just so you guys know, Atlas was born out of a very low time in my trading career. It was about 10 years ago, I guess, almost 12 now. A friend of mine was a programmer, flew into Dallas area. We met for dinner. I was telling him all my sad stories. And he says, well, that's not a problem. And he asked me what I was doing. So I shared with him what I was doing. I was drawing all these different lines. He says, you realize that that's a mathematical line drawing that you're doing. I had no idea. He called it Fibonacci. I didn't even know what Fibonacci was. Uh, and we added some extra things to it. So it was one of those seasons where you realize you're working really hard, but still making the same mistakes over and over again. And by God's grace, that failure became progress. And so we were able to fail forward with this. And Atlas is simply a market map. It helps you answer where are the key levels that actually matter. And that can be tied with Sherlock when we talk about institutional movements. But what are the key levels, price points that actually seem to matter over and over again? So in the next 5, 10 minutes or so, I'll show you what Atlas is. And I'll tell you how to read the lines and how to pick a time frame that fits your trading rules and your trading style. So let's dive right on in. You guys should be seeing my screen. Atlas is a planning tool. Again, no buy, sell alerts or anything like that. It's built to reduce the surprises. It has brought patience to me when used over a period of time, and with some guidelines, it's a key piece for me. Traders get hurt when price hits a major level and they didn't even know it was there. So recognizing what a major key level is imperative. And Atlas doesn't promise that the price will reverse at the line. But it does tell you pay attention there. Whatever that line is, pay attention. And you'll see that there's be some overshoots and we'll see some hesitations and things like that. But you'll see it's like a magnet. And that's the gift of the Atlas map. It doesn't trade for you, but it does help you trade with intention. So here's how you read it. Just a quick Atlas legend. So the blue lines are considered the extremes. And as we mentioned in our overall tool presentation, Atlas was built on a quarters theory. I've read the book on quarters theory, fantastic book. If you haven't read about quarters theory, read it. It's a great read in thinking about money. But I took that quarters theory and I put it into thirds using quarters theory, Fibonacci, and a couple other mathematical calculations to come up with price points. And these price points don't move. So if you're looking at the Euro US on a 4 hour chart, as we're doing, I believe, yes, the blue line will always be at 1.1971 on every 4 hour USD pair. Now, the yen pairs are numbered differently, but all the non yen, a blue line on the 4 hour chart will be at 1.1971. So, blue lines are the extremes. Think of them as your boundaries. They're the outer edges where often the price gets very emotional. So, the green lines, though, represent strong support or demand, depending on how you call it. But when it's broken, those can be key resistance points after that breakdown. Red line, same premise. They are resistance or supply. You'll hear us talk about supply, and that's their strength. But if they're broken, then they later can also become solid support systems for retest. So Atlas levels are decision zones. They help you slow down and ask, am I entering into a resistance area or am I entering into a support area? Is my target realistic? Uh, and this is clarity, giving you clarity. We talked about that in our town hall, clarity, structure, execution. You're going to hear us talk about it a lot. So this is the clarity and the structure before the execution. Now, initially, I'll just take a little bit of a break here and give you guys a chance to take notes or take a screenshot. Initially, my plan is to take trades on the blue and the blue. Um, and what I found is it took forever. So then what I did is I said, okay, if that's going to happen, I'm just going to go from blue to red or red to green or green to blue, however it worked out. And I found that this move right here that you see right there, It took too long for me. So if you watch me in the time savvy trader sessions, you'll see how I've broken down our atlas even more to give clarity, not to give me entries or anything like that, but to clarify where we are in a movement and understanding the ebb and flow of each of the pairs because they do have individual personalities. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk about the input so you know how to input properly. Very, very, very simple a tool to use. Most Atlas inputs are just visual for you. The line type, width, the transparency. Feel free to change that however you want. Those are your personal preferences. Time frame is the one setting that really truly matters in the system. All of the calculations are built upon your time frame. So it's your map scale. Higher time frame, fewer levels, stronger significance. Lower the time frame, more levels, more noise. Not that they're less reliable, you need to just have context. We talk about that a lot. So choose a time frame that fits your rules and protects your clarity. Now, I put a little coach's note there. Start with just a slow. If you're a beginner with Atlas, start with the time frame you trade on and then take that Atlas one step higher for a cleaner structure. So for instance, if I'm trading on the 15-minute chart, then maybe I wanted to consider overlaying the Atlas on a 1 hour or 4 hour to the daily, however you want to do it. And then when you get a grasp of how it looks, then you can go back to the normal thing that you see in our trade rooms on a day-to-day basis. We've been using this tool for many, many years, so it's second nature. So please ask questions if you don't understand that. We won't know your questions because those questions that you're having we've long answered a long time ago. We don't even think they're an issue anymore, but for a new trader, they are still relevant. So definitely feel free to ask the question. So choosing an Atlas time frame, again, just guidelines. If you're scalping and day trading, set your Atlas to 1 hour or 4 hour until you get a good firm grip of it. If I'm trading a 15-minute chart, bring up the 30-minute, bring up the 1 hour. That's just a suggestion. I wouldn't quite go the 4 hour. It does slow it down, but it does give you the overall location of key levels that you want to be aware of. Same thing with swing. If I'm trading the 4 hour, I usually have the 4 hour Atlas on, but I'm very well aware of what the daily Atlas is. If you're position trading, that's if you're taking a longer position in your daily, then definitely set it to daily or weekly. That's pretty standard stuff. So adjust based on clarity. Too many lines being seen, map it higher. Not enough structure, then map it lower. That's completely at your discretion. Again, you have time to look at what these, and it's not hard. This is a very, very simple tool to use and how we use it. So again, we talk and preach about clarity, structure, and execution. I've given you some ideas under each of these three with the picture of the Euro US on a 4 hour chart. And clarity is where are we on the map? Where are we? Are we in the upper portion of the third? We are in the middle portion of the third, or we're in the lower portion of the third. Mid-range often means patience. When we're between the red and green, it can be that time where you can find some nice trades, but it's also patience. Near the extremes, though, we trade with more caution because it could be a breakdown, and we wait for better confirmation. So that's clarity. You have to determine that based on your trade plan and how Atlas is working for your trade plan. Structure. I would just say identify the next level above and below, and that's based on the lines, and those are your decision points. Now, you'll see me on the Time Savvy Trader using Atlas, and I pull in another tool. Al has his own tools in Hawkeye that he uses inside of his Atlas. So when you start seeing things that are unfamiliar to you, just ask questions. But the biggest bonus you're going to get is in the live trading sessions. So make time to be involved in those if possible. If not, make sure you catch the recordings. We're going to try to limit our recordings to 30 minutes so you capture the meat of a session instead of going to a 2 hour marathon on some of our sessions. So execution, Atlas doesn't enter for you. You need to wait for your trigger, whatever that might be. Make sure you size correctly, and then you execute your plan accordingly. Atlas exists just to reduce that emotional piece that we all fight and make our decisions very, very intentional. And this again is our links to be connected. Make sure that you are connected. I would appreciate it if you like our YouTube here. Also, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and then make comments. What do you want to see? What do you think about this video? Are there questions you might have? Is there a topic you might want to for us to address? Put those as well in the comments, and we hope to see you on the other side. God bless.